Trump to be arrested. Donald Trump, Donald J. Trump. Now, why is this guy going to be arrested? So I'm going to pull up a Fox News clip because here's the thing. I don't normally like to use Fox News. I just don't. But I just know that CNN, MSNBC, the people that just absolutely hate Donald Trump, that their ratings are fueled off of the hatred. I just can't. It's just so unreliable that I'm not even going to get a fraction of an accurate picture. Now, I know Fox News isn't perfect either, but I think the guy who gives us a little breakdown does a pretty good job at describing what is happening. So let's watch this video.
Former President Trump saying this morning that he will be arrested on Tuesday. Trump said that on Truth Social. He said, in fact,
quote, the far and away leading Republican candidate and former president of the United States of America will be arrested next week. Protests take our nation back. Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett is here to react.
Before we go too far, so when Trump says here, let me rewind just a little bit. He says, protest, take our nation back. So the Democrats are complaining that he's telling people to go protest for a normal act of justice, of, the fulfillment of the law taking place. And he's asking them to go protest. What a terrible human being. So let's keep watching.
Analyst Greg Jarrett is here to react. Greg, break this down for us.
Well, I wrote a column about this because you could see this coming a mile away. It's purely politically driven by Alvin Bragg. And I described this as the most cockamamie legal theory I think I've ever heard of. Forget about the fact that this is a 7-year-old case and the statute of limitations appears to have elapsed 2 years ago. But the legal theory is something that is not just novel. It seems abusive of the legal system. Here it is in a nutshell. Take a business records misdemeanor and try to transform it, to supercharge it into a felony by attaching to it a second crime. Now, what is the second crime? That's the question we don't know. It can only be one of two things: a campaign violation under state law or federal law. Here's the problem. It can't be a campaign violation under state law because it was a federal election. And it can't really be a campaign violation under U.S. statutory campaign laws because Bragg is a Manhattan DA. Local and state prosecutors can't bring charges on federal crimes, only state crimes. In addition to all of that, there are other problems. Bragg would have to prove that Trump was personally involved in falsifying business records. Second of all, he'd have to prove that Trump understood the incredibly complex and convoluted campaign laws that nobody understands, and that, having known them, he intended to violate them. And then finally, they'd have to get around what's known as the dual purpose doctrine. That is to say, if Trump had a personal reason or even a commercial reason for paying the money to Stormy Daniels, then it is not under the law a campaign contribution, and he didn't violate anything. The Department of Justice spent years looking at it. The Federal Elections Commission looked at it, and they both said the law isn't there and the facts don't support it. In addition, Bragg's predecessor spent years trying to find something related to the Stormy Daniels payment, and in the end walked away saying there is nothing. So, I think it's a shame that the justice system is being used for politically driven prosecutions. I think Bragg sees himself as, we got to stop Trump. I'm going to be the savior of the republic. Frankly, given the rampant crime in Manhattan, New Yorkers need saving from Alvin Bragg.
Hey, Greg, let me ask you what Tuesday may look like. Alvin Bragg has driven bail reform in New York City. New York City is a no cash bail justice system. So I presume that means President Trump, if arrested according to his own Truth Social post, how would his Tuesday unfold?
Well, he'll get bail. He still has Secret Service protection. As I understand it, Bragg's office notified federal officials, the Secret Service, and the Secret Service is not going to let go of the president they're protecting, even though he's a former president. And so this will be arranged. He'll probably be fingerprinted and then he would be released on bail. You know, Alvin Bragg has downgraded serious felonies to misdemeanors in Manhattan. That's his MO. The day he took office, he signed his manifesto. You know, armed robbery? Nah, it's just a petty misdemeanor.
Greg,
You know,
if what
yeah.
you're saying is true and there isn't a legal basis for this after the arrest, what happens immediately after that? He makes bail. Then what happens as far as Trump proving his innocence, or what's the next step after that?
Well, there would have to be an arraignment in which there's a presentment of the charges against him. He has an opportunity to enter a plea, and then the case begins in earnest. He'll plead not guilty, of course. And I think the first thing his lawyers will do is to challenge the merits, the veracity of the charge against him and the law, just as I've described, that you cannot take a state crime and supercharge it into a felony, a misdemeanor into a felony based on a federal law, if that's how this thing goes down. Now, you know, maybe Bragg is somehow going to, you know, say, oh, it was a violation of state campaign laws, in which case there will still be a motion to dismiss by Trump and his legal team to toss this case out based on the frailty of that argument. So, you know, there'll be a bunch of legal challenges before it ever, you know, gets to trial, if it ever gets to trial, and there will be appeals as well. Now, I was talking to Alan Dershowitz about this, and he said, look, Trump's problem, and Dersh is right, Trump's problem is you've got, you know, a biased New York prosecutor, you probably got a biased jury, and just as you can convince a grand jury to indict a ham sandwich, as Dershowitz said, you could probably convince a New York jury to convict a ham sandwich. And so, you know, Dershowitz said Trump's best course of action will eventually be on appeal.
Can I ask you just the politics behind this? So, you know, as you said, maybe with this jury, they're gonna, you know, he'll come out convicted or whatever. What does that do for his ability to run? Will he look like a victim in this situation come Tuesday? Will that work out for him in some way, as it did in Mar-a-Lago? His ratings shot up after that.
Well, there's a legal and a political aspect to it, obviously. I mean, I think, you know, when people begin to digest what Alvin Bragg, the district attorney, has really done here, and they begin to appreciate this for what it is, a, you know, political vendetta, an effort to stop Trump from continuing further with his presidential campaign, I think Americans will probably say this is fundamentally unfair, and there'll be a backlash, and that may result in even more support for Donald Trump. However, you know, a conviction would be troublesome if, you know, he ends up being convicted. You know, as I understand the law, he can't hold public office, including the presidency. I haven't studied that, so I can't say that for sure. I mean, you know, a misdemeanor, you probably can. A felony, probably not.
First of all, I have a question. I know I'm probably not talking to many liberals on Rumble, but if this video ever makes it to YouTube, hopefully I can get this in front of some liberals, people that are taking this news because Orange Man bad and Orange Man finally getting what you always thought he deserved. Now, regardless of what you think of Trump, you have to recognize the bias, the reaching that's going on here. And now I don't know if the situation with Stormy Daniels is true, but all I know is this. I know Bill Clinton was sitting in the office guilty of the things that you guys are holding Trump to, and he wasn't arrested. He wasn't indicted. So, and I could go on with the double standards that you guys hold against Orange Man. But my question is, what do you want? What do you want in a leader? Like, I'm getting tired of hearing what you don't want. We understand you don't want Donald Trump. You don't want people like Ron DeSantis. You don't want anybody who stands up for anything worth standing up for. But I haven't heard what you want, because you put in Joe Biden, who's just has had a disastrous presidency so far. And a lot of you have acknowledged that, but you still write on the fact, oh, he's better than Trump, but you don't give any substance to that. You just know that he's not Trump, so you're happy. So my question, what is it you're looking for? because you got what you wanted. You told us what you wanted was Joe Biden. Was Joe Biden just the lesser of two evils for you? Or did you see something in him that was going to give leeway to your agendas, to your ideologies, to your way of life? What was it? Is there a candidate now? Is there a candidate now that would be that woke Jesus Christ that you're looking for? Because, like I said, I don't care what you think about Trump. If this was happening to Justin Trudeau, and then I know a lot of Canadians are going, whoa, oh, careful what you say here, Brandon. But if something like this was happening to Justin Trudeau, where he was being put under the fire for something that wasn't fair, that was reaching, that was manipulation to get to somehow corner him and hang him, I would be against that. That would be against my conscience. If it was happening to Joe Biden, I'd feel the exact same way. And I think that's important because we do need to not be hypocrites. We do need to be able to put our biases aside and recognize when we've lost it. And when I say lost it, I in a sense where we lost our ability to think rationally, to think from a objective perspective. So if you're watching this, the stuff that's happening to Trump, where they're taking like little campaign laws. I mean, I was involved in the municipal campaign, and the document of the rules that, and by the way, so many candidates didn't even follow because they're so minuscule, and it is a complex document. It's pretty thick. So at a federal level, I can't imagine the rules put in place. So they're expecting Donald Trump to know all these campaign rules and enforce it through his team and have all his reps enforce these campaign rules and never break a campaign rule. I'll give you an example of some campaign rules that I saw being broken in the municipal level. There was a rule that you can't have your lawn signs on boulevards. Okay, and it was very clear. It's probably one of the top rules in the rule book, and almost every single candidate I would drive around town just plastered it. It seemed like every boulevard had them. So if we're going to try to make Trump a criminal over that, okay. Meanwhile, you turn a blind eye to people like Hillary Clinton, who funded and paid for a fake dossier to be used. I just want to know what you're looking for. What are you looking for? Where are your values? Where is your sense of morality? Because I don't see it. I don't see it. Is this all about your agenda? Is this all about your personal ideologies being pushed to the forefront because it's not aligning with how the real world works and you're making a mess of it?